walking out, and they said, "What do you have to be?" One of the guys on the board who wants him says, "Do you have to be so fanatical and selfless about it?" And Rourke says, "What?" And the guy says, "Fanatical and selfless." And Rourke's got his drawings, and he says to him, "That was the most selfish thing you've ever seen a man do." You go, "Wow, wow." You read that in full focus, in full context. You go, "Wow, what is Ayn Rand saying here? What is she showing us? I mean, did she even get to, what's selfish about this?" I mean, you understand conventionally, people would agree with the board members that Rourke's being selfless because, he's standing up for artistic integrity. He's passing up a major commission, a heavy, a nice fee, fame and fortune. He's passing that up in order to, stand by the artistic integrity of his building. He's not stand on a moral principle. He's not letting them adulterate, the integrity of his building. So normally people consider that selfless. But Rand's saying through her character Rourke that that's the most selfish thing you've ever seen a man do. You see her challenging at least 2,000 years in the history of moral philosophy. Well, what is selfish about that? And her answer, of course, is to be selfish is to be true to your values. What is your highest value? What means the most to you? And to Rourke, the integrity of his design, the perfection of it, this is by far, by like whole orders of magnitude, this is the most important thing in his life. His lover, Dominique Franklin, is enormously important to him. His former mentor, Henry Cameron, is enormously important to him. Steve Mallory, his sculptor, is like a little brother to him, is enormously important. All these relations are enormously important to him. But architecture, first and foremost, this is what he lives for. This is what he lives for, the integrity of his design. My work done my way, as he says to Dominique Franklin, his lover. My work done my way. That's what's most important. So, to him, of course, the building going up, the way he designed it, that's what will make him happy. Now, well, what about money? Well, he wants to make money. That's why he's working. He goes to work in a granite quarry, to make money. But money's not what his life is all about. Money's a means to an end. The end is to build. So money's on the list of his values, but it's much further down the list. But what about fame and recognition? Well, from certain people he respects, from Henry Cameron, his former mentor, from Dominique Franklin, his future wife, for people like that, recognition certainly means something to him. But that's not what he lives and breathes and breathes for. What he breathes for is building. My work done my way. So recognition is way further down the list. So my work done my way, architecture, that's his highest value. Those other stuff are secondary values. And so, when he says to the board, that was the most selfish thing you've ever seen a man do, what he's saying is, you've just seen a man remain true in action and under extreme financial duress to his highest value, to the perfection of my design. For me to let them adulterate my design in order to win fame and fortune would be a self-sacrifice. It would be giving up a higher value for a lesser value. And Rand defines sacrifice as exactly that, the surrender of a higher value for a lesser value or a non-value. This is part of what makes Ayn Rand such a great philosopher. She defines these terms that are vague and mushy throughout the history of philosophy. She repeats to define sacrifice as the surrender of a higher value for a lesser value or a non-value. I mean, if you give up something that's not important to you, that's not a sacrifice. If for Lent you give up, spinach, that's not a sacrifice. But if you give up Haagen-Dazs, it is. If, to take a more serious example, if you, give away some of your money so that starving children in a third world country can eat, assuming that the local dictator doesn't steal the money, if you give away, some of your money, that's not a sacrifice. If you give away all your money so that, strangers can eat and your own child starves, that's a sacrifice. So the sacrifice is the, is the surrender of a higher value for a lesser value or non-value. And notice that Rourke refuses to make the sacrifice. He remains true to his highest value. He has lived out Polonius's advice to Laertes, to thine own self be true. And notice he does it under extreme duress. That's what makes it a great novel. Conflict. He doesn't just do it in theory, and not just even in action, but under extreme financial duress. He remains true to his values. Now this is what it means to be selfish. First of all, to hold values, many people just drift through life. They're sick, they're depressed, or they just, they function, they go to work, but there's nothing they burn with passion. I'll give you a good personal example. I saw this great change in my own sister. Who worked for years, but it was a job. And when she retired at age 60, she decided to go to school. And so she went to King's